Back to Dragon Age, the Veilguard. If you missed the last episode, we did a few little side quests, we did some crossroads stuff, beat up some revenants, and now we have to go and talk to Solas, although I have Psych here, so what is this? Oh, it's the statue we got from the Inquisitor. So what are you going to show me? Let there be light.
You cannot do this, Algernon. You swore that we would give up our commands when this horrific war was over.
Our people need our leadership. If you're unwilling, leave.
Our people must rebuild, and we must help unite them.
Oh, Mythal.
We did not fight for freedom, but to conquer this land and our own.
We fought to win, and now the Evenuris are as gods. I do not answer to Mythal's annoying lapdog.
The people are afraid. They must believe in something.
They need strength.
And wisdom.
They need gods who can protect them.
We are not gods. You will learn that.
Every lapdog hides a wolf inside.
Charming. So, do we get to place more of those down? Because we found loads, right? That's what we've been collecting in the crossroads.
That was strange. They were speaking Elven, but I understood it.
I believe we have experienced a memory in each of our native languages.
Not just any memory. One of the Dread Wolves.
And the mages who declared themselves my gods. Well, mine and Davrin's.
I'm sorry.
That can't be easy, Balara.
It was so mundane. Nothing grand or cosmic. No setting fire to the sun, just talking politics. I wish they were monsters. Something grand and terrible. Seeing them like that, they're no better than Tevinter nobles.
But no worse, either. They were people. And people can let you down.
Amen.
All right. What else can we take from this memory?
Elgranon was hungry for power. Did anything he could to get it, and to hold on to it.
Then Solas, furious at Elganon's installing himself as a despot, started his rebellion.
There's another moving part in this. Mythal. She was keeping the peace.
Mythal and Solas were close. The Inquisition found a temple to Mythal, and there were wolf statues everywhere.
Then she sides with Elgranon over him. A betrayal.
No wonder he was angry. I see Mythal's reasons. I put no wonder he was angry.
It sounded like Solas was loyal to Mythal. What did Elgranon call him? Mythal's lapdog? And then she grabs power alongside Elgranon instead of standing for her principles. I'd be angry too.
Angry enough to start a rebellion?
That's not how he'd see it. He didn't destroy the world. Elgranon did. Solas did what he considered necessary to stop him.
Amen,
Solas
Davrin.
would try to justify what he did, but he'd also blame himself for what happened.
Perhaps these murals aren't simply memories. They're what Solas wishes to forget.
His regrets. That means they're a way to learn his weak points.
Why are we worried about Solas? He's trapped.
Right. But the Dread Wolf was the god of trickery. He's looking for a way out. Bet on it.
Meanwhile, keep your eyes open in the crossroads. If there's a way to restore the rest of these murals, Solas would have kept it in his hideaway. It'd be nice to get inside his head for a change.
We have loads of them, don't we? A memory of a false god is a trophy I just got, so that's nice. Do I have more I can place? It doesn't seem like it. Seems like there's only 3 of them. Interesting. Okay, well, let's go and talk to Solas as we prep for Weishaupt.
How fares your battle?
The gods are moving against Weishaupt and the Grey Wardens. We've heard rumors the Darkspawn are being led by an archdemon.
And you have questions?
I need to know how archdemons relate to the gods. Are they just like the blooded dragons, or are they something else?
It's honestly a great
I
question.
also need to know how to deal with the gods if they show up at Weishaupt.
I propose a bargain. I will answer your question if you answer mine.
What?
How are the Grey Wardens? Do they understand the truth of the danger yet?
I proved myself already.
We've been through this already. You agreed to help me.
What did you think my help would look like, Rook? I need to know that you are prepared.
What if I answer with a lie?
You know I could just lie to you, right?
Indeed. But the truth is merely recalled, while a lie must be constructed. Knowing you would expend the effort to construct that lie rather than answer truthfully would tell me a great deal.
The First Warden refuses to listen.
As I feared.
I tried diplomacy. I tried being firm. Nothing worked.
When I asked you why you should be trusted to lead the fight, you said you were no stranger to fighting stronger opponents. That sufficed for me. But the Grey Wardens fight Darkspawn and Archdemons, foes no one else can stand against. They see themselves as the best prepared for this battle. You cannot defeat Elganon and Gillenane without the Wardens. What will you do to bring them to your side?
It's about the First Warden.
I don't have to convince all of them. I just have to convince the First Warden.
Or remove him.
Enjoyable as that is to imagine, I doubt the rest of the Wardens would approve.
Did you know the Evanuris once numbered many more than those whose names survive in the Elven Pantheon? One warlord was particularly cruel. I sought to free his slaves, but so fearsome was his reputation that none would join me.
What did you do?
I made people laugh at him.
How did that help?
For 12 years. Every sound near him, from whispered pleas to shouted oaths to crackling fire, all became mocking laughter. His mind broke under the ridicule, and when he fell, his slaves rose up and joined me.
I doubt laughter is going to work on the First Warden.
If not that, then what?
Whatever is necessary.
Whatever it takes.
Easily said. But it will have to be enough for now. You have answered my question, and I owe you an answer in return.
Yes. The old gods of Tevinter. The archdemons.
There never were Tevinter gods. The archdemons, as you call them, were always merely the weapons of the Evanuris.
Alright, let's hope we can find the gods before they find their weapons.
Unfortunately, the Dragon Thrall's life force is bound to the Evanuris as both power and protection. You will not be able to kill or likely even harm one of the Evanuris until their Dragon Thrall is slain.
Right, tell me if they're dragons.
What can you tell me about the archdemons themselves?
Each is different, shaped by the whims and ego of its master. Elganon is the Lord of Tyranny. He would have ruled alone had Mythal not forced him to share power. Those who are strong, he molds into dictators themselves, with visions of godhood. Those who are weak, he crushes. His archdemon reflects him. It is huge to feed his ego, the epitome of dragonkind, bent to his will.
That would be his downfall.
What about Gillenane and her dragon? Pride and ego can blind someone. We can exploit that.
By contrast, Gillenane was a servant of Andrul, whose skill at making monsters earned her promotion to the Evanuris. She is brilliant, ambitious, and unconstrained by anything you would understand as morality. In a kinder world, you would never need to see what she has done to her archdemon. In this world, I only hope you kill it quickly. In any event, the Evanuris will not be vulnerable until their archdemons are dead.
How is Teenage Sexuality Simulator going? How's it going, Bam? Good day, bad day, let me know. You know, moments like this with Solas in the Fade are actually really interesting. So we're learning about the archdemons, which does tie in quite nicely to Origins and learning about why the archdemons exist and stuff. But this stuff is just so rare, you hardly see it. How did Tevinter gods talk?
The old stories of the Tevinter gods have them whispering in the dreams of ancient magisters. How did they do that if they were just tools of the elven gods?
The archdemons were once high dragons. The Evanuris bound them as a source of power. When I imprisoned the gods, their dragons remained free. That was my mistake.
How so?
I never bound a dragon to myself, for I believed that to enslave another creature was immoral. As such, I did not understand the power that connection gave. I thought the prison I had made was perfect. But their dragons were the conduit through which they spoke to dreaming minds.
What am I missing?
Any other surprises we should know about?
Even with their dragons dead, the Evanuris are powerful and well protected. You will need to use my dagger, the one you recovered. It can pierce their enchantments and strike them down.
Alright. Kill the archdemons, then use the dagger to take down the gods.
Even a single opportunity to strike the Evanuris down will be rare, fleeting, and costly. You will not have another chance to catch them unawares. When you strike, you must be fully prepared.
I will enjoy my money more and I will buy one on sale. Yeah, so I was chatting to someone the other day, and if you're a big Dragon Age fan like me, and you've played all 3 games and you like the lore of Dragon Age, forget like the games, how like bad Inquisition is in my opinion. Like, if you're a fan of Dragon Age and the lore and the history, then it is worth playing to get like answers to questions that have been standing since like Dragon Age Origins. But as a game, I couldn't recommend buying it. It's just, yeah. I mean, I'm playing on easy now because the combat is just so tedious that I want to get through it and not enjoy it, if that makes sense. It's fun for like the first few hours, but then it's just the same thing over and over and over. Oh, well, you have another regret. Alright, teach me, Solas.
I was not certain you would come.
You were the one who walked away. I never turn my back when my friend needs me.
The Evanuris seek the magic of the Blight.
Impossible. The Blight is safely sealed away forever.
Though I wish I could believe you. I have sensed the breaking of the wards.
I will investigate your claims. If they forget the danger of the Blight, I will endeavor to remind them.
What if, instead, you left the Evanuris and remained with me? Do you not wish for freedom from this struggle?
Be at peace, love. I will stop them.
As you must. The Blight is our mistake.
Okay. Are we going to get a little like round table like we just did? Yeah, we are.
All call Solas love in that memory.
That's what it sounded like.
So they were doing it.
The elven gods were free with their emotions. They felt things deeply. The way they expressed things, well, it feels romantic to us, but that wasn't really how it was. Back then, I mean.
Nah, they were doing it.
Maybe. Moving on.
Whether they were doing it or not...
Did that dialogue option just say ick? I don't think so, an ick. It does. My days. Really?
Solas cared about her. That's what matters.
So the Dread Wolf goes to Mythal. They might be fighting, but they have history.
And he warns her about the other gods using the Blight. That's more important than his rebellion. It's like kingdoms coming together when an archdemon rises.
Mythal didn't think it was possible. She said the Blight was sealed away. There's an old legend about it. Davrin, the one with Andrul's armor. Not sure it matters.
See, I feel Origins started something that was never continued, even with DA2. DA2 should have been better, and that would have set up DI to be better too. I have no doubt the lore is great, but it's behind a game that I cannot be bothered to play. Yeah, I get that. I don't really blame DA2 for being bad, per se. It's definitely a game that you can tell they were forced to make in like 15 months, because there's so much stuff stripped out of it, and so much stuff that they wanted to put into Dragon Age 2 was ended up in Inquisition. I think if you would have given DA2 the 3-4 years it needed to be made, it probably would have been really good and tied into everything. But EA just loved their money. To me, this is similar to The Witcher. I know the lore is amazing, but I cannot get on with the actual gameplay of The Witcher. I get that. The Witcher 3 is a great game. The combat is... it's alright. It's not perfect, but it's alright. But I've always been more of an isometric RPG than a third person, etc. Yeah, that is the thing. And I think games like Baldur's Gate 3 really are will hopefully bring that back into the forefront. I'm not a big action RPG fan. I'd rather have tactical gameplay, like slower gameplay, make me actually think about stuff as opposed to just pressing square.
We are deep in elven lore already. What's the legend say?
Right. Well, Andrul was the goddess of the hunt. She put on armor, magic armor, made of something called the Void, drove her mad.
I remember this one. The other gods were afraid Andrul would turn on them. She was doing all kinds of horrible things, causing plagues. It does sound like the Blight.
Well, it all ends with Mythal fighting Andrul. After, Mythal turned into a dragon.
She what? Why didn't you start with that?
Anyway, she took Andrul's armor away, then Andrul's madness left, and peace returned.
Intriguing. So it's possible Andrul stumbled onto the magic of the Blight.
And when Andrul went mad, Mythal took it from her and locked it away.
Until someone started using it again.
You know what this looks like to me? If the Torchlight series became a CRPG rather than an ARPG. It has that goofy look which works so well in Torchlight, but not in a gritty game like Dragon Age. Yeah, there's a few areas in here that, for example, the Hossberg Wastes and like Demeter's Crossing, which does tie into that like dark fantasy aspect. Like there's blight everywhere, there's like corpses, all sorts. But when you're walking into it with a character that looks like this, it just takes away from it. It looks so clean and polished. So the game director for this game worked on The Sims beforehand, and I can't help but look at these characters and they do look like Sims characters. They don't look like gritty RPG characters. They do look like something you could make in The Sims and then, I don't know, go be a police officer or whatever you do in The Sims. Solas felt guilty.
Okay, Solas warns Mythal about the other gods using the Blight. It's not just bad, it's something bad he feels responsible for. The Blight was our mistake.
How is the Blight their mistake? Did they find it? Did they make it? What does that mean?
Whatever it was, it convinced Mythal to take him seriously.
So Mythal goes off to investigate what Solas says. Then, what? It's too clean.
Seems plenty messy with them doing it.
But this isn't just a memory. It's something Solas wanted to hide. What's the crime? What did we see here that he feels guilty about?
I think I might know. When the Inquisitor was saving the world from the breach, she met Mythal.
What? Like in a dream?
It was complicated. She helped the Inquisition. There was a magic pond and a dragon. Nice. The point is, she also said the other elven gods betrayed her, killed her.
When in combat and after, are you covered in blood? No. What do we mean by killed?
Okay, sorry. Point of order. If they killed Mythal, how was she still around to help the Inquisition?
Elven god magic? She'd spent centuries gathering strength and sharing people's bodies, I think.
If it was a truly benign possession, that speaks to her character.
The one good god got killed.
Solas goes to Mythal, the one semi-reasonable elven god, for help, and the other gods kill her for it. I imagine the Dreadwolf's rebellion heated up significantly after that.
Right. And Mythal wasn't there to keep the other gods in check anymore.
Well, it's not just that she died.
What do you mean, Tosh?
It's... Ugh. There was stuff he wanted to tell her, but he waited too long, and then she was dead. He never got to make it right. That twists you up.
That's it. There's our crime.
Doesn't really tell us anything we can use, though.
We know more than we did. That's something.
Then I guess we keep our eyes open if we come across more of these memories.
Well, there we go. A memory of our mistake, another trophy. Okay, can I... Oh, there's more. Now what do we have?
You dare to try to cage us, jealous of our growing power.
You will pay the final price for this betrayal.
We warned you not to use the Blight. For this, and for Mythal, I sentence you to sleep in exile ever after.
Okay, so this is him sealing the Evaneris away.
The veil that keeps the horror you unleashed at bay.
So he locked the gods away and created a veil between this world and the Fade.
Which you already know.
I mean, they were terrible, no question. But what he did, it didn't just stop them. It destroyed our culture, our world.
It wasn't just to stop them. It was to stop the Blight. We've seen how bad Elganon and Gillenane are. Imagine all 7 corrupted gods running wild.
So he created the Veil just to keep the elven gods locked in their prison?
Yes, to keep them from accessing the Fade. But was the creation of the Veil around the world an accident?
You heard him yelling. That's not the sound of a ritual going right.
What do you think, Rook?
It makes sense.
I think this memory is one we understand, at least. What he did makes sense. Him regretting it also makes sense.
I had another question, and I'm sorry, maybe this doesn't matter, but Solas trapped the blighted gods in an ancient elven building, right?
That's what it looks like. Maybe a palace? Fancier than what I've seen in Arlethan, at least.
And then, the Magisters were lured into the Fade. They broke in, which let the Blight escape, and turned the Golden City black.
Right, and the Black City hangs in the Fade, a little reminder of their mistakes. What's wrong, Lace?
It's just... the Chant of Light says that the Maker built for them the Golden City, the center of all creation. But if the Golden City was an ancient elven palace, then the Maker didn't build it. The elves did. The Chant of Light is Andraste's visions from the Maker, but it sounds like it's... wrong.
You're asking if we just disproved the entire Andrastian faith.
Did we?
Lessons are what matter. Do not give a personal view regarding the belief in the Maker. Speak to someone who does not believe in the Maker. Share hardness, belief, and anxiety learning this. That's not our problem.
That's a problem for Chantry scholars to worry about. We have a world to save from the gods who definitely exist and also want to kill us.
Looks like there are 3 more of these murals with the Dreadwolf's old memories. Wonder what else he's hiding.
Also, you're going to catch up to me in sub soon. I'm trying, Bam. I'm certainly trying. Channel's been doing a nice little uptick recently. Oh, there's more. Now what are we going to learn?
You have so long observed the world. Why not consider joining it?
But I have no desire to live as humans. I have the Fade. Besides, this talk of taking on a solid form. I think you underestimate the danger. When you took the glowing stone to build your body, did the earth not shake?
Delirium gives us the strength we had when we were of the Fade. We are the best of physical and spirit. I need your wisdom, Solas. To withstand the louder voices who would go too far like Elganon. I need you.
This is madness. You must know that. I will always follow where you go.
Right, dude, off for a bit, and a bit sweet cheeks. Thanks for hanging out, Bam. Appreciate you, buddy.
This is astounding.
Have a good rest of your day.
Elves were spirits who voluntarily manifested a physical form.
I'd rather go back to talking about the Blight.
Hey, Lucanus. Could Spite turn into an elf?
No.
Sorry, but... What?
I'm with you, Blara. This is interesting. Okay, is that useful? This is interesting.
This puts all of elven history in a new light. Not to mention what we think about spirits.
I mean, some magic works differently for elves. If we came from spirits, that'd explain it.
The knowledge that an entire people were formed from a mass manifestation could change our entire understanding of magic.
If we let it out, is that the right call? Do you want bigoted humans yelling about how elves are demons?
Davrin's got a point. World's not short on small-minded humans.
Yeah, nobody would buy it.
The entire idea is preposterous. Who would even believe us?
It does seem outlandish when taken out of context, I admit.
We have to tell someone, though. Strife and Irulan, at least.
If I told Thea and Viago, they'd think I was sampling Viago's poison collection. No one will believe us.
Okay. We keep this to people we trust who have good reason to know. No shouting it from the rooftops.
Agreed. The Morn Watch has a great deal of experience keeping dangerous secrets.
So, beyond the world-shaking stuff, what else did we learn here? Solas himself was a spirit.
What kind do you think he was?
Well, his name is Elven for pride.
Oh, okay.
There's something else. Not about spirits, or not all about them at least. Solas didn't want to become a person with a physical body.
Right. He only agreed after Mythal begged him.
Then that's his regret. He wishes he'd never taken physical form.
Maybe, but not just that. Solas was scared. They built their bodies out of lyrium, and it made the ground shake.
They hurt the Titans.
Lyrium is the blood of the Titans.
The Titans would have felt it as an attack. They defended themselves.
The first memory we saw, with Elgranon seizing power, it happened at the end of a war.
A war between the Titans and the elves.
Lace, I'm so sorry.
It feels like we still don't have the full picture. But I think that's part of what Solas regrets. He didn't see the danger.
Except he did. He was worried. You said it yourself.
He did it for Mythal. Everything that followed, he could have prevented, if he just told her no.
Then he's got a war on his conscience. Plus, whatever we find next.
Okay. Is that the last of the memories? I would assume so. Let's just check this music room quick. Hey, that's what I was looking for.
Another helper waits between the facing gods.
Okay. And then somehow I need to get that as well. Why? Oh, I need to do that one as well. Okay, so many memories. God damn, I guess that is the point of doing all the side quests. Okay. What do we learn from this one? Oh, there's the dagger.
Have you created what we need?
With this, the proper ritual will sunder every Titan from its spirit. But you must know those severed dreams will certainly be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger. It is awful what we're doing.
And the only way to end this war.
Solas made the weapon that killed the Titans. No, not killed. He cut away their dreams and left them broken and mindless. He passed me in the halls of Skyhold for a year. He made polite conversation, and he knew. He knew what he did.
So that's why dwarves can't dream. Ah. I'm sorry, Hardin.
I don't know what to say, Lace. I can't even imagine. I am so sorry.
I served in the Inquisition. I know terrible things happen in war. But to do something like this...
The Titans were the size of mountains. I doubt the elves were winning their fight. He considered this the cost of saving his people.
Fear and guilt make people do stupid things.
To do such a thing. No wonder regret eats away at Solas.
No, it's worse than that. That isn't what Solas regrets. Those severed dreams will be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger.
Mierda.
You can't. That's not possible.
When a warden hears the calling, it's like a song in their mind. Sound familiar to you, Lace?
The song of Lyrium. Of the Titans.
We think of the Blight as this monstrous force with no mercy, no compassion. Evil incarnate. Instead, it's a caged animal. Mistreated and imprisoned for centuries. Until all it knows is fear.
What about Darkspawn?
What does this mean for Darkspawn? Should we be trying to help them?
I don't believe so. If the Blight is a corrupted dream, Darkspawn may be mindless manifestations of its anger.
Right. They're not people. We're never going to get through to them.
The Titans are a problem for later. We have Elgernon and Gillanane to deal with now.
And then I want Solas to look me in the eye and answer for what he did.
Each of these memories has been a deeper regret, and almost all of them involve Mythal.
Only one mural left to uncover by my count. If we find it, we'll see what's worse than this.
I don't think I have the last one yet. Yo, you're back. I am indeed Rad. How's it going, buddy? Oh, I do have it. Okay, I mean, we might as well learn it, right? That looks like the end of Inquisition. The post-credit scene.
I knew that you would find me soon enough. You need the power of a god. The strength that I alone still carry.
The blighted Evanuris will soon break free from their prison. I must make a stronger one that can contain them.
While the prison is important, it is not the only goal you seek.
Why should I not tear down the veil and bring back immortality to all the elven people? They deserve it.
The elven people of today do not deserve to see the world they love be torn apart to salve your conscience.
I must fix what I have broken. I am sorry.
As am I, old friend.
Yeah, so we see this at the end of Inquisition.
Solas killed Mythal? After all that? Is this another memory from a different time?
No. He wore that same outfit in the Inquisition. We knew Solas woke up in this world without most of his power. Now we know how he got it back.
By killing the only other god around and stealing her power.
All that epic magic and godly power. In the end, it comes down to love and murder. Same as always.
And all that gets us... He loved and blamed him, though. And all that gets us...
So we've got all the Dreadwolf's deep dark secrets. Anything we can use?
He's being honest about fighting the Blight. Whatever happens, he won't risk letting it back out into the world.
Agreed. But he has a plan to escape that prison, and not one we'll like.
He turned on Mythal, the one person he was actually loyal to. There's no way he won't turn on us.
He's a spirit, or was once. He might be able to possess someone, affect minds, all the things spirits do.
He created the veil. His very nature is tied to it. That will be a source of strength, but also a potential weakness.
Mythal has him all messed up. Anything about her or Elgernon is gonna make him angry. Sloppy.
Solas thinks he knows what's best for everyone. Anything he does, he'll do while telling himself he's the hero.
That works for now. Why'd you look like the Doomer guy? I don't know who that is, dude.
That gives us something to start from. Elgernon and Gillanane are the two big problems right now. But when Solas makes his move, we'll be ready.
You have witnessed the Protector's tale, Dweller, almost to its end.
Almost? How can there be more?
When the mighty fall, their echoes cross the ages. An audience is warranted. Speak with your visitor. She awaits you in the crossroads.
Okay. I think we should do that before we go to Weishaupt. I also think we should check to see if any companions want to talk to me, just in case. Emmerich and Tarsh don't. Okay. Is there anything else? Hardin doesn't, Lucanus doesn't, Davrin doesn't, Nev doesn't, and Balara doesn't. Okay. Right, let's go to the crossroads then, and we will see what's up. I think we'll bring Harding and Emmerich for this. Definitely Emmerich, since he's... No, maybe we'll bring Balara. Let's bring Balara and Emmerich. That's going to be our squad for this bit. Change party. Is that person from the meme, the press guy in the black hoodie with dark circles who's always smoking? Dude, I'm almost 30. I don't know half these memes that you're talking about. I'm double your age, buddy. Who do I reckon our special guest is? It could be Morrigan. I could see it being Morrigan. Oh, it's right in front of me as well.
Oh my word! This place! I could spend an age speaking to all the spirits here without exhausting its possibilities.
It is Morrigan.
Well met, Rook.
Hi.
How did you get here?
I did tell you I had my ways through Illuvians when I introduced you to the Inquisitor, did I not?
The Illuvians in general, yes, but not the Dreadwolf's crossroads.
I would think you have more pressing questions at the moment. Questions about Solas and Mythal?
Mythal?
The two gods have always been linked, have they not? First, when Mythal bade her companion spirit to abandon the Fade and take on mortal form. Then, when Solas spilled Mythal's mortal blood, that he might absorb her power as his own.
Wait, how do you know exactly what we saw of Solas's past?
Think upon it, Rook. You saw for yourself in the Dreadwolf's memories. When Mythal stood against the gods' manipulations of the Blight, she was betrayed and struck down. Yet she survived and returned ages later to aid the Inquisition in its hour of need. How?
Ancient elven magic?
The elven gods had access to magic beyond anything we can imagine?
To be sure, but it matters less what they possessed than what they were. You recall that the first elves were spirits, do you not? Mythal was a spirit turned elven. And when her body was struck down, to spirit, she returned. Her essence sheltered in a willing mortal vessel. Over the centuries, she journeyed from host to host, slowly amassing her former power anew. Until once again, she was struck down, on this occasion, by Solas. He absorbed her power, but not her memories.
Then where did they... Wait. You?
As you say.
How complicated will this get? And you're her? And you're her?
So you're the next host of Mythal?
Believe it or not, as you choose.
What? That was like how Elgranon and Gillinan can talk in your head, but...
'Twas Mythal you heard, her echoes. Yet I am not the goddess returned.
What are you then?
I once feared Mythal would consume me were I to carry her, but 'twas not so. I remain free-willed and mortal. What I now possess is but a spark of Mythal, shadowed memories through which to sift for meaning. As to our admixture, I suspect you have questions?
Yeah. How do you and Solas get along?
You would have met Solas in the Inquisition, right?
I did indeed. 'Twas before I possessed Mythal's memories. At the time, I thought Solas a scowling elven apostate whose sole passion was finding arguments. He heard me, in all my ignorance, expound on the histories of the elven people, explaining legends he had witnessed himself.
Bet he loved that.
'Tis not a memory that brings me pride.
Okay. Can you help against the gods?
Do you have information we can use against Gillenane or Elganon? Or Solas?
The last time Mythal faced Elganon and Gillenane, she was struck down by the very dagger you now carry.
What about Solas?
You may recall he murdered Mythal's former host to claim her godly might as his own. I hoard no untapped magical secrets, Rook. What I do possess, I share freely with you and the Veil Jumpers.
All right.
Okay, why aren't you elven?
How can you carry Mythal's soul if you're not an elf?
Her spark has sheltered within both elves and humans who were sympathetic to her in thought and circumstance. Mythal's last host was a woman wronged, trapped by those sworn to love her. We may readily imagine their kinship.
Interesting. How did this all happen?
So, there's the soul of an elven god inside you. How does that even happen?
Mythal's last host was my mother, Flemeth.
Oh.
When I learned she intended me to become the next receptacle of an ancient god's soul, I feared naught would be left of my own. It inevitably came to pass on a deep night. I was awakened by the presence of a blaze of magic in the shape of a woman who both was and was not my mother.
Sounds terrifying.
I don't think I'd recover from that.
Neither did I, at the start. Mythal's memories were both gift and burden, this blazing woman told me, but I must accept them of my own accord. The decision was paralyzing. What would it mean to become such a host? What would be lost if I refused? In the end, 'twas something in my mother's voice which guided me.
What was that?
Regret. Not the regret of a god, but of a mother who knew she would never see me again. And so, my mind remains my own. What I gained was knowledge, both Mythal's and of those who bore her.
Okay, so we know what happened to Mythal then. I'd like to move on.
You didn't come out here just to tell me you're Mythal.
I am not Mythal in her entirety, but yes. The Dreadwolf has occasion to visit you in dreams, where he portions out advice. And now, after finding his memories, you have peered into his deepest sorrows. Tell me then, what do you make of Solas?
What do you?
I should ask you. Mythal knew Solas better than anyone.
I would influence your answer. Or do you mean to discover if I would stand directly against the Dread Wolf, were there a need?
Would you?
I shall aid you in any way but that, even had I the power. What has passed between Solas and Mythal, I beg you, do not ask this of me again.
He's a self-pitying monster.
Well, Solas killed the Titans, destroyed the ancient elves, and wants to ruin this world to bring back his old one. But he'll always make sure you hear just how sad he is about all the murder.
If that is how you see him, perhaps the Dread Wolf's words have not served as well as he might wish.
I'll say.
'Tis not malice which made Solas your opponent, but conviction, a belief that only he may halt what he set in motion. Yet Solas was once beloved of Mythal. 'Tis his very loyalty and love for his people that led to the tragedy we now face. You may be in a position to determine how it ends, more so than either of you might realize.
Right, nothing alarming at all.
Well, that's not terrifying at all.
You have been thrust into the lives of gods. Fate will have its way, whether or without our permission.
Even more comforting, Morrigan.
If you would shape the outcome of your battle, I've one last secret to share. When Mythal was struck down by the other gods, it was with her own lyrium dagger, the dagger you now carry. Solas recovered it from Elganon, and from it extracted a fragment of Mythal that had lain hidden within its depths. This fragment, a younger sister to the one I carry, if you will, resides here, in the crossroads. I can open the way for you, find her, survive the encounter, and the essence you obtain will aid you in times to come.
Ah. Interesting. Okay. There are 2 Mythals.
Another fragment of Mythal, in addition to the one inside you.
You are aware of what the word fragment means, are you not? One small piece of many, formed when something greater is broken. The first elves were spirits, as you well know, and when a spirit is broken, it may shatter into pieces, each holding part of the original. Among the ancient elves who became known as gods, Dirthaman and his brother, Falondine, are but one example.
Survive the encounter?
All of that sounded great until survived the encounter.
You know Solas, and have seen Elganon, and memories of Mythal. They are creatures of emotion, as all spirits are. The fragment of Mythal that resides in me lived among mortals for thousands of years. She has grown wiser and more patient. This younger sister has not. She is the essence of Mythal as a god. She is unlikely to listen to polite requests, and though she is but a fragment of the goddess, the battle will test you sorely.
If she's just going to attack us, why tell us about her at all? We have enough enemies already.
A fragment of a god's essence is a powerful thing. It may give you options against Elganon and Ghilanane, or against the Dreadwolf himself, should he prove as cunning and treacherous as ever.
Are you done playing The Walking Dead by Telltale? I've never played The Walking Dead, Rad. You might be thinking of someone else, mate.
If I were to try to talk with her, do you have any suggestions?
She will demand respect, but detest flattery. She appreciates righteous anger, but will not tolerate pity. She is, for want of better phrasing, prickly. But if you are determined to try, then I wish you luck.
We'll try. Could you talk to her?
You would know this aspect of Mythal better than anyone. Could you try talking to her?
I dare say she would attack me on sight.
Spirits can't get along with fragments of each other?
Spirits, certainly. But the aspects of a self-righteous god who have walked different paths for ages? One bears the insult of her betrayal by the Evanuris, and then by Solas, as fresh wounds, insult upon injury. The other once fell in love with an Alamari chieftain and lived happily in a swamp for centuries. Each reminds the other that another path existed, that they could have been wrong, and nothing angers Mythal like being wrong.
Fair enough. About the spirits.
What kind of spirit was Mythal before she became an elf? I know Solas is elven for pride.
Mythal enjoyed ruling and having power, but it came not from the overweening desire to crush resistance, as is the case with Elganon. The emotion that inspired her might best be described as benevolence, a guiding hand, inclined to kindness. But like any spirit, when angered or twisted against her purpose, a more violent aspect arose. Where the Dreadwolf's wisdom gave way to pride when the world did not meet his standards, Mythal's benevolence gave way to retribution. After all, when kindness fails, the guilty must be punished.
Okay then, I'll see what I can do.
Thank you for the information, Morgan.
I only ask that you reflect upon what I have said. The Dreadwolf is not so apart from the world as he thinks. There, you have the advantage of him.
Well, okay then. Let's go in. Hopefully this isn't a long quest, because we are nearing the end of the episode. That's going to be a whole area, isn't it? Oh, buddy. Okay. Come on, caretaker.
A god's fragment, sharper than the whole. Prevail, or be sundered completely.
Charming.
We're getting close to where Morgan said that other fragment of Mythal was.
The Nest of the Ancients. Oh yes, right there. Well, that's blocked and there's nothing there. Okay. Right, before we do this, we're going to wrap this episode up. So if you enjoyed it, please drop the episode a like. Counts me amazingly. If you're new and not subscribed, you'd like to, that'd also be amazing. Hopefully, I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.